Welcome back to the program. Joining me now is Patrick Schueck. He is the CEO of Lexicon Inc. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, last time you and I sat down and had a conversation, you said business is booming. And so I want to know, is it still booming?
We're still seeing a very good uptake in the construction markets. We think it's going to be with us at least for the next 12 to 16 months.
What's driving all of this?
Well, we're seeing the reshoring of America, which is a big deal. We're seeing a lot of corporations come from overseas back to the United States. And a big part of that is that we're producing energy clean. There's a clean initiative here, and the end users, that's what they're demanding. So we're seeing a big push to get back from overseas, back to the United States, build their plants. There's been a lot of other government money that's come into the system,
whether like through the infrastructure
bill, the CHIPS Act, things of these nature. We're seeing a lot of CHIPS plants. And then we got to talk AI at some point, Roby. It's a big deal, and there's a lot of data centers getting built across the country.
Let's talk about it now. So, well, what's driving? I mean, who is driving that? Is it a variety of different industries, or is it some particular sectors?
There is a variety of different industries that are running AI, that are really pushing it hard. Obviously, the Microsoft, Googles of the world are a big driver in this. It's very important for them. But we're also seeing a lot of privatized businesses that are putting smaller data centers in locations where they can get that clean power so they can sell that space, that AI space, out on the open market. So there's just multiple levels of this. There's different sizes, different shapes, but it's a really big thing, and it's a huge market moving forward.
It's not what we're here to talk about today, but that's going to also put a lot of strain on our energy system here, and that's one of the things we've got to think about.
We've got to figure out how to get clean power, and that dovetails right into what's going on in Northeast Arkansas. One of the reasons why Northeast Arkansas has been able to boom all these years, of course, is the river, modes of transportation, but the biggest thing has been really good, clean, cheap power. In order for Northeast Arkansas to continue on that growth trajectory, state of Arkansas is going to have to figure out a way to keep that good, cheap, clean power coming.
You got about 1,000 employees up there in that region of the state. So.
We do. We have about 1,000 employees. We'll be coming down a little bit off of that as we finish up on U.S. Steel Big River, which should be this part of this year, but we continue to see those markets growing. You've got High Bar, which is coming on, which is a rebar plant. Really get in the middle of that construction right now. And then our fab markets are really salty up there at Roby. It's something you got to see. You got to come see our robots up there, buddy.
Well, I'm waiting for the invitation to come take the tour. So.
Well, anytime, anytime. I'd love to have you.
I would love to do that. All right, let's talk a little bit about workforce here. And I got a twofold approach with you on that. Let's start first with, you guys do something pretty unique with your longtime employees here. If they've been there for 20 years, it pays some pretty big dividends for them. Explain to people what you do from an employer perspective.
Well, I'm just going to warn you, when we start talking about workforce development, I get a little excited.
I know.
It's a big part of who I am and what I believe in. My dad started a program about 20 years ago, and we reward people that have been with the company for 20 years. They get a $10,000 check, and that's $10,000 on the check. We pay all the taxes, everything. So they walk away with a $10,000 check. The funniest part about that is to see who grabs the check when we hand it to them. Do they keep it, or does the spouse grab it? But anyway, so this year we're real excited. Next Friday we're going to have an event over at the office on Foosh Dam over in the Port of Little Rock, where we're going to bring in all of our 20-year employees, which has now become a club. We all have our white shirts with our patches on them, the 20-year employees at least. And we're going to celebrate over 30 employees this year.
That's wow.
That's going to get their $10,000 check. Roby, I got to tell you, if Tom knew that we were going to have over 200 members in this club, I'm not sure he would have done this program.
Oh, I think he would have anyway, just to make sure that you would have had to deal with it in the legacy part of it. All right, let's talk about younger workforce and bringing people into the workforce. You're talking about the job growth that we've seen, the business that's booming. You are passionate about getting into our schools and getting these kids opportunities, their eyes open to opportunities at a younger age. Tell me what's driving all of that for you and what you want to see.
Well, what I would like to see is people have an opportunity. I mean, when I was in high school, probably when both of us were in high school, all we thought about was college. Well, there's different pathways to success in the United States these days. It doesn't necessarily have to be through college. And I strongly believe even if you go to college, you got to have a skill. It goes back to what I tell my kids all the time. You got to have a purpose. You got to have a purpose. And a lot of people go to college and they walk out of there not having their purpose. I think people need both. They need a dynamic education, but they need to have a purpose, which could mean working with their hands or whatever it may be. But through Lexicon, we're very excited to be able to offer Lexicon University, which we're building that out as we speak. and we have multiple programs, one being a millwright training program. We're partnering with Arkansas Northeastern College. They've been a wonderful partner where we're able to bring candidates in that work for us, put them through this program to bring up their millwright training to get them to the point where they have precision training along with mill maintenance training, which allows for each of those locations in Northeast Arkansas that we talk about all the time, as well as steel mills located all across the South, to be able to utilize these talented individuals to fix the things that break in a steel mill.
Right.
And in a steel mill, when you're dealing with heat, water, and iron, stuff breaks pretty frequently.
It does, I bet. We got about 30 seconds left. You're also doing some things in Little Rock Public Schools to try to push for more of that type of workforce education.
We've teamed with Mills Academy in the Pulaski County Special School District to create a school of construction at Mills. We're very excited about the academies of Central Arkansas. We believe that's how you're going to educate kids moving forward. It's the consumption model where you sit at your desk, it's all over with the Roby. Yeah. We've got to get these kids into problem-solving situations where they're using their brains. They didn't grow up in front of the TV like me and you. They were holding an iPad. They're very smart kids.
All right, that wraps up our time. You and I could talk for about another hour if we wanted to. Patrick, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
All right.